so much for having me. I'm honored to be a part of the show. This is um, really cool for me. As I was saying before we started, I'm in quite good company, so this is a really fun thing for me.
We're totally thrilled as well. And Matt, I see a red box in front of me. Inside that red box is the word live, and
Mhm.
I'm consulting my host manual. That means we are in fact live. No turning back now, Matt. This is it. We're in for the greater good, and I'm gonna ask if you would please do the honors and introduce yourself to the fine fans out there.
Sure, yeah, I'll do my best. My name is Matthew Curry, singer, songwriter, and guitar player from Bloomington, Illinois, and I'm very thrilled to be here on Talk Shop Live with Steve this evening.
Excellent. Yeah, we share the same state as far as our lineage. You know, I'm from Chicago, and we be interested to kind of compare some notes. But I just want to let everybody know the man blends blues, rock, southern rock, Americana, wide spectrum. He began performing at age 8, which is astounding, and he's toured with you talk about his resume, some great artists, many of whom actually have been guests on Talk Shop Live. The Doobie Brothers, Peter Frampton, who was just on for his new album Journey, and Don Felder, also the great Steve Miller. And Steve Miller, if you want to talk about testimonials, hails this man is a wonderful guitar player and great songwriter in the league of Stevie Ray Vaughan. I will let that ferment, digest that a little bit. That's high praise, obviously, coming from Steve Miller. And Patrick Simmons, a favorite here from the Doobie Brothers, praises Matt is an incredible talent, and this album proves he is the real thing. Matthew Curry returns with his latest album, One for the Ride, a powerful new album showcasing his full range as a guitarist, singer, and songwriter. And he delivers his most authentic and compelling work yet. This is a great record. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Let's kick this show off. And Brendan, if you would, please roll the video.
Thank you, Steve. You made it very easy for me.
All right, now my adrenaline is completely amped up. Please, welcome all of you for joining us this evening. I am Steve Harker, your host for the Rock and Roll Channel and Talk Shop Live. Once again, if you would give him a virtual standing ovation to Talk Shop Live's Rock and Roll Channel, an incredibly talented musician, singer, songwriter, and gives us great cause to be hopeful musically for the future. The one and only Matthew Curry. Matthew, thank you so much for being here.
Well, I'm honored to be here, and this is a big deal for me. As we were kind of chatting before we went live, some of the fine folks you guys have had on here. It's a little intimidating, I have to be honest, but I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and glad you guys were willing to put up with me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think it's putting up with you, man. You've earned your wings. And where do we find you this fine evening, Matt?
I'm at my home in Bloomington, Illinois, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
that the home of State Farm? I want to say I always get my bills, and I think it's Bloomington.
It is, yeah. State Farm, Illinois State University. I think
Yeah, of course.
Beer Nuts is from, if maybe that's only a Midwestern thing, but it's from
Well,
Bloomington.
yeah, like it's Italian beef and a deep dish pizza. Beer nuts are an important quality of life that we all enjoy from the
That's right.
Midwest. I want to say, fans, if you'd like to ask Matthew Curry a question or if you have a comment, use the chat function, and I pledge to get to as many as possible. Matt, I mean, I say this, to all of our guests, and with all sincerity, that typically you're associated with being an entertainer, providing entertainment. But in today's day and age, when things are a bit contentious and challenging out there, it seems like the one common thread that we have is music. And it doesn't matter what religious convictions or political affiliation one has. When Matthew Curry sets foot on stage or delivers a new record, it's a unified front, man. We're all one. And so for that, thank you for providing what truly is an important function that we need more than ever now.
Well, I'm just happy to still be doing it. I started touring with my band back in 2013, and as Steve, as you know, and everybody in this business knows, we've gone through so many crazy times,
Yeah.
especially in the last about 6 years. And so we're just thrilled to still be going and still have folks coming out and still interested in the music. And it's an honor to still be plugging away.
Yeah, we're fortunate. It's reciprocal as well. And congratulations, man, on one for the ride, man. You have to feel really good about this record. You delivered a terrific album.
Well, thank you. Of course I'm biased, but I am very happy with how this record came out. Personally, I think it is my best record, and that's what I hope for. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine the other day. I'm a big um, Blackberry Smoke fan, and every record they put out, I go, man, it's like, and they've been around for a long time, and
Yep.
every record I go, it just everyone gets better and better, and it's like that's what we all kind of hope for ourselves as artists. So hopefully that's what we've achieved here.
I I share your taste in music. I'm a big Blackberry Smoke fan as well. Charlie's a force of nature, Charlie Starr, of course, uh, I'm really interested in discussing the production of the album. You co-produced it with Francis Valentino,
Mhm.
who is also associated with David Lee Roth touring band, and you know you were responsible for writing or co-writing the majority of the songs. There's one cover, I think, on this album, but I'm just kind of curious from the roots of the song itself to the final product, laying down the tracks from the outside looking in. What I'm impressed with is the fact that the production and the arrangements serve the song. I always there are cases where sometimes the production is over the top, and it's just layers upon layers and it smothers, the vibe, the soul of the song, and not the case here. So I'm just curious with you working with Francis, maybe what he brought to the table, and also were these pleasant surprises where you started out with the core root of the song, the composition, a demo maybe, and the final product. Did you find that it kind of took some interesting detours, and that you're happy with those results?
Oh, definitely. I think that's kind of, bound to happen. Um, this was actually another record, same to the one we released previous to this, that we recorded in my little home studio. Francis and I co-produced together, and we did it rather quickly, I guess, compared to the last one. Um, anyway, so there was definitely some of those moments where there was some happy accidents,
Yeah,
uh, for sure, and that's always such a great feeling. I always compare that to the same kind of um, thrill that you get from playing live. Is one of those light bulb moments going off, and you go, "Oh, this is this we got to keep that, even though it was an accident."
yeah,
So there was certainly plenty of that. I really always try to have as much of it kind of thought out as I can, and always kind of go in with production ideas. Maybe like in writing a tune, I'll sometimes think, oh, I'm kind of hearing this, the drums sounding like this or that, um, and then that's where brother Francis Valentino comes into play. He's a wonderful engineer, and he's quick with the old Logic Pro.
yeah.
So, he's my sidekick as far as making records, and I always really enjoy the process of recording and producing and writing with him too. I think we've kind of become uh, um, two minds into one, I guess is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Is how it feels sometimes to me, just because it's almost like we're thinking the same thing and nobody has to speak, and it just kind of happens. So it's always a pleasure to work with him for
Yeah,
sure.
apparent to me. I mean, there's definitely chemistry between the two of you. I think it proved positive, I think, in the outcome of the album that you delivered to us fans. You also have some prolific guests, Rob Arthur, who is from Peter Frampton's band, and also Mark Russo. If that name sounds familiar, he's got background with the Doobie Brothers and also formerly of the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that was a huge honor. We were getting to the final stages of recording the record, and as far as all the kind of foundation tracks, drums, rhythm guitar, um, bass, some doubled guitars and stuff that we wanted to put in. Um, we would record live in the room, but then there were certain things like we would ship out to Rob to put some B3 on, and I was just over the moon when those guys agreed to do it. I still remember the night I called Rob and Mark to be a part of it. And I'm like, oh, these guys are, for lack of better terms, I was like, they probably have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're doing it just for their health. I mean, I think, you're selling yourself a little bit short. I mean, I think it's an acknowledgement, I think, of, your talent.
Well, it's certainly sweet of them to do, and they, exactly what I expected. They just knocked it out of the park, and we had so much fun having them on the album. And it was a lot of fun for me, doing the tracks, as weird as this might sound, doing them remotely, because I'd be on the phone with, these phenomenal world-class musicians, at
Yeah,
10:30 at night saying, "Hey man, this is cool. Let's try this," and going back and forth with ideas. And what a thrill that was.
no doubt. Connie Griffin, love this comment. Started listening to Matthew when he was 12 years old. I don't know. Is that a legal thing? I think it is. I'm going to say yes, it is. Playing at the Treehouse in Bloomington.
Yeah, the old Treehouse Lounge in Bloomington. Used to play there quite a bit growing up. The Blues Society in Bloomington used to host. I don't remember what night it was. It might have been like a Thursday or a Wednesday night every week. They'd have different national and international blues acts, usually blues rock, blues acts, come through, and usually weasel my way up on stage somehow or another.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that, man. You were a salesman right from the beginning, but you delivered. Trust me, they would have, given you the axe, man, if they weren't feeling it for sure. And so, thanks so much for being here, Connie. Also, Kareem, thank you for being here. Jeff Otto is appreciative of you being here and just saying great stuff as far as the new album. Rico Bob Human is saying the Shed in Saybrook. Does that mean something to you?
Dead in Saybrook. I know we used to comment a venue in Saybrook, um, called the Shady Nook.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
so this was a long time ago. So if we played a venue by the name of the Shed, perhaps maybe that's what the venue's called now.
Yeah,
Uh,
it could very well be, for sure. I noticed the album cover art is pretty cool, kind of like a retro thing. The logo, it
yeah.
feels like it's almost instantly iconic. Who was responsible for that?
Well, that was Mr. Doug Hicks, of Black Cat Merch. Actually, I got one prepared here, sitting next to me. One of the bottom,
Nice.
my screen's kind of shining off of it, but he did
Right on.
a wonderful job um,
Yeah.
on the artwork. And he's also, speaking of Blackberry Smoke, I think he has designed a couple of, if not album covers, some merchandise product designs
I
for this as well.
I could feel that for sure. It definitely has a little bit of that vibe, man. It's just warm, warm design for sure. And also interested, Matt, in the songwriting process. And I commonly refer to there's usually one of two approaches or a combination of both, which is sometimes you'll be like that vessel where just randomly, a melody line or a lyric or a riff will pop into your head, and that becomes kind of the basis or the germ of an idea that flourishes into an album. And there's some, songwriters who, I refer to as like woodshedding, where it's like, okay, I'm blocking out 4 or 5 hours today just to sit down and see if I can create some magic, what I can knock out. And so, as I said, sometimes it's a combination of two. So curious, how would you kind of describe in general that your songwriting process?
It's definitely a combination of the two for me. Um, I'd say there's probably a little bit more of the woodshedding just because I have to force myself to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and I find that the more I do it, just like anything, the better you get, or at least you hope anyway. You find that you're getting better results, or maybe things come to you quicker. Um, but we all love when we have those little moments of inspiration kind of falling out of the sky, and there was a couple of those on this album too, which that's just another just massive thrill that I would compare to playing a live show for a rowdy audience. And so it's certainly a combination of both, and actually setting some time aside midsummer, which seems like a strange time to do it, but we've been running the road pretty regularly here since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Uh, so taking a little time here in the middle of the summer to get back on that songwriting horse, so to speak. So
Nice. Nice. Also curious to get your take, when you were brought to this world, born as Matthew Curry, vinyl was probably still declared virtually dead, and it's made this amazing comeback. I mean, this is not high tech, high tech from configuration. The process is largely old school and fascinating process. There is a modern technology employed in some of the plants, but how how cool is it that you're releasing albums and one of the centerpieces is in fact that it's available on vinyl?
that's incredible to me. It's, and like you said, more and more folks um, are asking about that at shows, and um, for online shopping reasons, like what we're doing here, and it's really cool. I always joke and say that pretty soon tapes will be coming back.
Yeah. I'd be okay with cassettes. 8 tracks, I'm not so sure I'd like to see that make a return, but that's just me.
Right, right.
Maybe
Yeah, I
maybe
don't.
the truckers out there would like to see that for nostalgia reasons.
Well, and yeah, that'd be probably a little bit of a nightmare to travel with as a touring band.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No doubt for sure. Tell us, I mean, how can we see Matthew Curry and the band? Do you guys have, some dates out there
We
booked?
do, yeah. We're hitting the road next week for our spring and early summer tour.
Yeah.
Which lasts about 6 weeks. Going
Are
all.
these headlining shows? Are you, is a combination of headlining and opening,
This is all
gig?
headlining shows with a couple.
Awesome.
I think there might be a festival date or two
Yeah.
in there as well. So yeah, we're excited. We're going back to some places that we haven't been in a while, and uh, going up out to the East Coast, excuse me, which we haven't been there, I think, in about uh, 2 years now. So it'll be nice,
Wow.
some familiar faces, and get out and play the new record for them too.
Yeah, have you had the chance, I think you have, to expose some of this new music live to an audience?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, even before the album, I don't know if
Yeah.
I should say this, but even before the record was released, um, I was kind of testing out some of the songs that I had already had written, um, just to and actually I think that helped a lot for when we did go in and start recording them because I kind of had a better grasp on maybe what worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
And I think we mostly kept, most things the same. I was probably a little bit more guilty of overplaying in some of the live scenarios than I was on the
I
recording, but
I can't imagine what that anxiety is because it's like, these are like your new children and you want to share it with the world. Yet, in most cases, unfamiliar territory as far as the songs are concerned to the audience. And, that scary litmus test is that you're exposing this new material and it's like, okay, is it going to connect with the audience or is this our opportunity to go, to hit the restroom or go for a beer run, which is your worst nightmare, right? And it just feels like the majority of this album just lends itself to, really translating it incredibly well live.
well, thank you. I feel like it's gone over pretty well, and even we had a chance to do some overseas touring early this year, and see how it was received over there as well. And it seemed to have, I didn't get any beer cans or anything thrown at me, so I
The,
think we're
the
okay.
chicken wire was required.
Right.
Jeff Otto is saying great stuff, Matthew. Just and I also mentioned Rico Bob is also saying that he's waiting for the Ryman show, which is that's gotta be an incredible experience when you set foot on stage in that hallowed hall.
I would sure love to know. We haven't we've had the great honor of playing some um really cool venues opening for some of the folks that you had mentioned early in the show, and but the Ryman hasn't been one yet. I'm waiting for that day too myself.
All right, we got to start that writing petition, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
That's right.
Mitchell Barnes, yeah, Mitchell Barnes is saying I've been following Matthew's career for a long time and try my best to catch his shows whenever I can. Looking forward to the new album, which is available now, and I'll talk about that in a second. And thanks for your music and all my best to you and the band. That's Mitchell Barnes. That's also my cue, Matt, to say that this evening is cause for celebration. Matthew Curry returns with One for the Ride, a powerful new album showcasing his full range. Best record the man has delivered to date. And regardless of if you're familiar with Matt or not, the man has delivered a fantastic new album that will resonate with all of you for sure. From guitarist, singer, songwriter, blending blues rock, southern rock, Americana. I'm sure there's a few other boxes that I'm missing. As I said earlier, you talk about accolades. Steve Miller hails him as a wonderful guitar player and great songwriter in a league of Stevie Ray Vaughan, and also Patrick Simmons, the brilliant member of the Doobie Brothers. Flat out says that Matthew's an incredible talent, and this album proves that he is the real thing. And I second that emotion. Matt has delivered his most authentic, compelling work to date. 10 great new tracks. Rock and Roll Channel fans on Talk Shop Live can purchase their copies right here, right now. And is Matthew's way of thanking you fine fans. A bonus, he's graciously agreed to sign a limited number of copies, both the vinyl and the CD, purchased here on Talk Shop Live. To order your copies, hit the shop button on Talk Shop Live on socials, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. Comment the word shop, will DM you a link. The rest is quick and easy. And if some of you are watching through YouTube, just click the link in the description. The rest is quick, easy, and pain-free, unlike the slight arthritic condition that Matthew might have developed signing for you fine fans, but I think he's well on the way to recovery. And that's what we call taking a bullet for the teams. But again, hurry, they're limited quantities. And there's no greater way to show how much you appreciate great music and the artistry of Matthew Curry than by owning, and I underscore owning, a copy of his latest musical body of work. Hey, Matt, let's check out some of the music. Are you okay with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it speaks volumes. This is from Matt's new album, One for the Road. Great opening track. Rum Stumbling. Brendan, if you would please roll the digital.
Hey, baby, that martini sure look nice. But if you take my hand, I've got a good time waiting on ice. You pick the liquor, I'll make it a double. We can get there quicker if you're looking for trouble. If you wanna get to rum, 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 stumbling, getting burning, twisting and turning, tequila tumbling. Well, whiskey stomping and honky talking, it's rumbling. Oh, you wanna get to rum, 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 stumbling. I don't know about you, but I'm just getting my feet. Let's move it along and rum stumble out in the street. Go tell the neighbors where we're congregating. The night's slipping away and time's a wasting. If they wanna get to rum, 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 stumbling, getting burning, twisting and turning, tequila tumbling. Well, whiskey stomping and honky talking, it's rumbling. Oh, you wanna get to rum, 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 stumbling.
Matt, one thing you're going to learn right away is fans get really irate with me because I cut off these great tracks, and that's why I don't give out my home address for fear that, they might slash my tires. I don't think they would ever do that. These are really good people, but trust me, for those of you that haven't been here on Talk Shop Live, you know how, for those that have, I should say, you know how it works. You want to hear the rest of the song, you have to buy the album. That's my job to remind you. And trust me, that second half is just as killer as the first. Man, scorching guitar opening, great guitar hooks, a soulful, passionate vocal, this energetic brass arrangement, just a killer opening track. And so much so, Matt, that on behalf of the Rock and Roll Channel and the power vested in me, I hereby declare Rum Stumbling is better than a Keith Richards blood transfusion. Man, it just gets me going. What a great opening track.
Man, that's quite an honor. That's quite an honor. Thank you very much. That's
Yeah, we haven't figured out how to translate that into an actual trophy or something, but we'll figure it out.
yeah. I have to go down to the plaque store and see what I don't know if all that can fit on the plaque.
Yeah, right. I don't know either, but man, was there any question that this would be the opening track? It sure doesn't seem like it.
No, actually, and weirdly enough, I want to say that this was the first song that with the intention kind of making the new record that I wrote. And we had I had just started working with a new manager at the time that had kind of, I guess, maybe sensed the some of my influences, Southern rock influences that I really loved and certainly try to portray in my writing and playing and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, you just need a party song or rocker." And so I sat at home and I think in about a day and a half, kind of came up with this. And weirdly enough, too, we had just done a show here in my hometown at the Castle Theater is the venue, and we had done a tribute set to some of the early ZZ Top songs. So
Wow.
we were doing some of that, and I kind of was thinking, kind of in that headspace for those of folks who are familiar with like songs like "Heard It on the X" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of a boogie style, rock and roller party tune, I guess.
Yeah, and I could kind of hear that kind of revved up guitar sound too a little bit. That's kind of signature sound for ZZ.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were one of my first kind of big inspirations. My dad was a big ZZ Top fan, so I remember I probably just like any other guitar player, like some of the first notes you ever hear of Billy Gibbons, you like it kind of changes your view on playing guitar after that. So
No doubt for sure. Brilliant track, man. I mean, right there, man. It's worth the price of admission. Let's check out another track again from Matthew Curry's new album, One for the Road. Another killer track entitled "Born Behind the Wheel." Once again, Brendan, if you would please roll the digital for us.
Tired of waiting, I wanna break out. Maybe I've been shaking in my shoes. The highway's calling, and I keep falling right back into that same old groove. I don't care just how I get there. If it's a back road or a blacktop or a byway too. That highway like a backdrop in my rear view. If my tires are turning, you know how I feel. 'Cause baby I was born behind the wheel. I ain't got no destination, no explanation where I'm headed to. If we don't find it, I won't mind it. When I lost, we're just somewhere new. You can't turn around when you're nowhere bound. Out on a back road or a blacktop or a byway too. That highway like a backdrop in my rear view. If my tires are turning, you know how I feel. 'Cause baby I was born behind the wheel.
Man, I'll tell you what, man, I just love this track, man. I mean, I love like, all the like, the subtle and some overt influences or homages that are in the song, and yet it's distinctively you, man. The opening Stonesy guitar work, and then all of a sudden, just like this anthemic kind of homage to the Allman Brothers, it seems like on the guitar side of it, a little bit of the Black Crows, man. For Blackberry Smoke fans, it was like, man, this is a mic drop for sure, man. A great vocal to boot, man. Just so soulful, badass guitar solo. Again, I know fans are upset at me, but again, you got to buy the album to hear it. But trust me, man, this on all fronts, man, this one is one of my favorite tracks. Hats off to you.
well, thank you very much, man. This was one of my favorites as well. Yeah, this one kind of started with that opening guitar riff. Um, and I remember, I think, playing it at sound check or something like that, maybe a rehearsal. And Francis, whom I co-produced the record with, kind of stopped and said, "What is that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. And so I kind of, threw the idea around for a long time. I mean, it was well over a year before I finally
Wow.
sat down and said, "All right, I'm going to take this, this guitar part and write this. I have to write this song." And the only thing that could that came to my mind that seemed fitting for the music was something about the road and I
Yeah.
guess my love of being on the road and the so because the music world has a total lack of those.
You got that right. Exactly. I'll tell you what, man, it's like, boy, if you can't get acclimated, let alone have somewhat of a passion of being on the road, man, you need to pack it in. This is not the profession for you.
Well, you know we I enjoy every minute of it, and it's certainly not always a glorious life, as many touring musicians will tell you. But there's just it's the life we chose, and
Yeah.
I can't specifically explain why we love it. It's the music, it's the fans, it's the camaraderie of the band. Um, it's it is something magical for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I often say again that, for those that aren't musicians and haven't lived this lifestyle, it would seem that it's like, well, what a glorious life that you must lead. All you have to do is, put in 90 minutes to a couple hours a night in the performance, and that's your work. The truth of the matter, and correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, is really the work is those other 22 hours when you're on the road. It's the joy is a performance, but not always easy, and it's pretty hard. I mean, to deal with that traveling, it takes a special breed.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and it's a labor of love, though,
Yeah,
and I think, like you said, part of it is kind of just trying to not go crazy, because there is nothing to do. I mean, it is funny, like you're traveling through, the Rocky Mountains in Colorado or something. Yosemite. I think we went through for the first time in 2023 or 24, and
yeah,
you don't get to stop and see anything. It's whatever your phone camera can capture from the
yeah,
window as you're going by. That's about as good as it gets. Uh,
yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't look like a blur.
right.
Yeah, Barely Living, man, massive hooks in the chorus. This one felt like somewhat of a, no plagiarism on any of these songs, but somewhat of a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers vibe. I mean, in a good way, and also I think this qualifies as a terrific country track. I think, country radio got a sniff of this. There's a really good fit there, a really good song.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I need to go shop that one around in Nashville. Maybe get to
Y-
see if we can get one of the one of the big dogs down there to play it. But definitely Tom Petty was what I had in mind. Uh, Especially with the production of the song. This one was very, very fun to record,
Okay.
because it was one of those that we experimented a lot. Not so much, I guess, had happy accidents, but purposely we're kind of trying things that we hadn't tried, specifically with the drums, and some fond memories of recording this song for sure.
Yeah, it was a terrific track for sure. And let's see, Jeff Otto is calling out Rick Holt, and GDP is flat out saying best artist out there. Wow, that's a mic drop right there for sure. Matt, thank you, Judy, for being here. Andrew saying incredible album, incredible musician. I second that emotion, Andrew. Derek Blick is saying amazing live show. And again, encourage everybody to go to Matthew's website and check out all these dates. And you got to go see the man. The supplement is with this great new album, but the live experience is pretty amazing. Anastasia I'm sorry, Zavaro says, go see Matt Curry live. He's genuine. You will love it. That's a testimonial. If I can only get your last name right, I'm going to rehearse that before the end of the night. And and we really appreciate you being here. And Ira's out there. We all love Ira, don't we, Matt? Saying good evening to Steve and Matt. Thanks for being here, Ira.
Thanks, Ira.
Yeah, you both are looking good. You can tell Ira's like an old school record guy, man, schmoozing Matt is looking good. Me, he's schmoozing me. I mean, when he says that, but I appreciate the sentiment, and we love Ira. And Andy is saying, love the Matthew Curry band, great musician. Have to go see live, which is another way of saying is a must see for sure. And Ira is calling this out too, really important. Top 25 Blues Luminate chart. Luminate chart is also the tied to the Billboard charts. Congratulations on that, and also great reviews from the press. That's speaking volumes for sure. And with cause for celebration, Matthew Curry has delivered a terrific new album entitled "One for the Ride." Powerful new album. The man, has just got the full spectrum of amazing talents. And I mean, it's just a combination of just wonderful elements from blues to rock, to southern rock elements, Americana. Again, Steve Miller touts the incredible talents as Patrick Simmons for the Doobie Brothers, and 10 great tracks. Rock and Roll Channel fans on Talk Shop Live can purchase their copies right here, right now. As Matthew's way of thanking you, fine fans, he's graciously agreed to send a limited number of copies of both the vinyl and the CD purchased here on the Rock and Roll Channel. To order your copies, hit the shop button on Talk Shop Live on socials, Facebook and Instagram specifically. Comment the word shop. We'll DM you a link. And if you're watching through YouTube, just click the link in the description of the album. And the rest is quick and easy. And there's no greater way to show how much you appreciate music and to support such a great artist as Matthew and his artistry than by owning a copy of this latest musical body of work. Matt, let's check out another track from this great record. Another terrific one. Here's Dancing in the Kitchen. Brendan, once again, if you would please roll the digital.
Saturday night, why you looking so blue? I know something we can get into. Don't need no reservations, we don't need no big plans. Well, all you've got to do is take me by the hand and turn the lights down low. Move real sweet and slow. Kitchen to some old rock and roll. We'll be hugging and a kissing and a whole lot more. Let the world go by, there ain't a thing we'll be missing when you and I are dancing in the kitchen. Well, you can kick off your shoes and slide around on the floor. Shake it like the salt and pepper, move it way down low. And I don't care what the neighbors might say. We can pull down the shades and dance the whole night away to some old rock and roll. A little Motown and soul. Kitchen to some old rock and roll. We'll be hugging and a kissing and a whole lot more. Let the world go by, there ain't a thing we'll be missing when you and I are dancing in the kitchen. Yeah, you and I are dancing in the kitchen.
Another one, man, just it really spoke to me. Swampy, bluesy, guitar riffing, some great piano licks as well. Another soulful vocal, man, a wonderful guitar break. and I know we cut that off, but again, fans, we're just baiting you, because it's such a great record, and you need to support this band. You need to buy the record to hear the rest of it, and trust me, the back end is just as great as the first end, if not better. And Matt, for me, I come from Chicago originally, and you feel like you're smack in the middle of like a smoky blues club, man. Just a great vibe with this track.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that was certainly my my intention writing this one. This is one that I got very lucky on. That this is one that, as I was mentioning earlier, that the inspiration kind of um, fell out of the sky. And I'm gonna embarrass my wife for a minute. I'm pretty sure she's tuned in, watching in the other room
Yeah.
anyway. And it's not like she hasn't, well, I guess, lived the story. But uh, it was our anniversary last year, and we didn't have any big plans or anything. We've been together long enough that we don't have to go out to fancy steak dinners every year for that. But we were just gonna hang at the house, maybe get put a couple records on, get some tequila or something, and hang out and just you know uh, do our thing on our anniversary, keep it low key. And she said to me, "Well, wouldn't it be sweet if we ended up dancing in the kitchen?" And and,
Nice.
and then so the light bulb went off, and about maybe 15, 20 minutes later, the song was completely finished from front to back. And um, I felt very lucky for that. That's always a nice moment when,
Yeah.
and I think she had to like run to the grocery store or something, after she had said that. And by the time she got home, I was like, "Listen to this song." You
I
know?
love that. Matt, please tell me you sealed the deal and you actually danced with her in the kitchen after that.
Well,
You can
I'm
lie. You don't have to tell me the truth.
right. Yep, we did all night.
Uh, oh,
Yeah.
good answer. I'll tell you what, wives, when it comes to male musicians and touring, which is the most, unorthodox, I mean, this is dysfunctional business. It has nothing to do with you personally. It's just a very challenging, unorthodox lifestyle. She, amongst other spouses, are kind of the unsung heroes, right? In supporting your creativity and the gift that you share with the world.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, God bless all the band wives and girlfriends and spouses. And it's not easy. It's a very, very difficult uh, life. And I think that it's so sweet that they understand that music is just a thing that we have to do. And
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be fully satisfied in life without it. And so yeah, man, it's God bless her for putting up with it. Then, sometimes I get home and off the road 3 days later, she's like, "When are you leaving again?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, it also can be the secret to a successful marriage, being, on the road for quite a long time. It limits the amount of mistakes and errors that you could potentially make.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know? So, yeah, there's definitely some upside, for sure. Ballad of Jesse Ed Davis, what a great vehicle for some amazing guitar riffing, feel good chorus, man. I love the lyric. He was singing the praises of Jesse Ed Davis. With a slide, he could save us. With the phrases he plays, well, he threw out the fakers and the limelight takers. If soul is the basis, Jesse Ed Davis will do. Yeah, I can only surmise that Jesse Ed Davis was inspirational to you.
Well, absolutely. I think anybody who's picked up a guitar,
Yeah,
has maybe found their way back to him at some point or another. And he's just, if he's impressing people like, if he was impressing people like Dwayne Allman and George Harrison and Eric Clapton and Taj Mahal,
exactly.
it's kind of one of those guys you have to go back and figure out. It's like, why is what's going on here? What's
Yeah,
but
I mean,
no, this
it's validation, right?
right, yeah. But this was a fun one. This was actually one that a friend of mine, whom I used to play in a band with, and still continue to write songs with, um, from time to time. That he had these um, lyrics somewhat finished and sent them to me a long, long time ago, and I just kind of completely forgot about them. And once we started getting into the process of putting this record together, I dug them back up and wrote a couple verses and a bridge and the music, and out came that song. And I kind of was envisioning it to be kind of a psychedelic, almost government mule sounding
Yeah.
song. Who is, those guys have always been a big inspiration to me. And then of course had to do some of my, my attempt at playing slide guitar in the middle of that one.
It's great. No, absolutely great. Classic for sure. Don't Be a Stranger, man. Another wonderful track. Love the chorus progressions, the chords, and this one feels like it will stand the test of time. In my book, an instant classic. Glorious guitar solo as well, and some terrific lyrics to boot. If the midnight should last you the whole day through, and the clouds drag down upon your sky, and happiness seems like a faded old dream, long overdue to drop by. Don't be a stranger anymore. Don't be a stranger. Knock on my door. And I want to say, fans, those that are aligned with some wonderful talents like Marcus King will love this track. I mean, just a great, great, great song for sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's probably I don't know why, but I think the song, as far as lyrically and musically, that I am certainly most proud of, as far as having written. I listened back after we um finished recording that, and uh and I mean this in no egotistical way by any means whatsoever, but thought, like, how in the world, where did that come from, and how lucky am I that that just kind of fell out. So, I was
Yeah,
kind of hearing a almost Carole King or Donny Hathaway type vibe in my head when writing this.
yeah.
So, so I,
I can hear that.
I told myself, oh, the lyrics have to be good. They have
Yeah.
to mean something, I suppose.
Absolutely. Jeff's just saying again, always great music. Never a bad song from Matthew. Congrats on the album and future success for sure. I'm going to go on a limb and say, is your wife's name Kimberly or Kim?
That's her. Yeah, leaving
All
the
right. Well, she's watching, so be careful what you say, Matt. Too late. Too late. Yeah, she's watching. Good to have you here, Kim. And also Daryl Blick, killer track on the last one we played, for sure. And kudos for being here for sure. Rather float a river, yet Morris, outstanding guitar work. Um, this is another one where it just feels like you're channeling some absolutely great musicians, but again, putting your own stamp on it. Another lyric that I thought was really a stand up. Well, that tax man wearing me thin, and my rent is due again, and that pile of bills might keep on getting bigger. I could curse and I could scream, or send my worries downstream and go floating down the river. Really cool lyric.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Um That's just kind of like a little a love song to my love of outdoors and canoeing and kayaking, fishing, and something that I was meant a lot to me, and still does. But all throughout my life, equally, not well, I can't say equally, but almost as passionate about that stuff. If I'm not playing music or writing or recording or something involved with music, I'll probably be out fishing or floating down a river somewhere.
Yeah, once again, the secret to a successful marriage. And of course, you love your wife, Kim, a little more than that experience, but you could love other things in life. And I'm just trying to help you out here, Matt.
Well, I'm very fortunate. She enjoys doing all that stuff. She's my partner in crime out on the river. So
That's
uh,
awesome that you
yeah,
can share that. That's really good. Man, killer shuffle vibe, man. This, this one kind of felt to me, and we've had them on Bill Payne in particular. It has that classic kind of Little Feat vibe to it. That particular song, I thought.
yeah, definitely. That was something that I don't think we meant to do.
Yeah,
But I've been a huge Little Feat fan my whole life, and yeah, one of those things after after we had gotten, most of the tracks recorded, we all kind of said the same thing, like, wow, this sounds kind of like, like a Little Feat vibe, kind of funky, almost, you know, New Orleans inspired, I guess, would be one way of putting it. But and then
Yeah.
all some kind of country-esque guitar playing in there. So thanks, man. That means a lot. This is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, to play live with the band.
I'll bet. Yeah, boy, it's got to be killer live for sure. And speaking of killer, one for the ride. Matthew Curry delivers just an absolutely top notch new album. 10 great tracks. Rock and Roll Channel fans on Talk Shop Live can purchase their copies right here and right now. And it's Matthew's way of thanking you fine fans. He's graciously hand signed a limited number of copies purchased here, both on vinyl and CD. Once they're gone, they're gone. They'll order your copies by hitting the shop button if you're on Talk Shop Live on socials, Facebook and Instagram. Comment the word shop and we'll DM you a link. And if you're watching this through YouTube, just click the link in the description of the album, and the rest is quick and easy. And again, no greater way to show how much you appreciate this wonderful talent, Matthew Curry, and his artistry than by owning a copy of his latest musical body of work, Whiskey Rock and Roll, a terrific interpretation of this Leonard Skinner classic. We're going to leave that for the outro, so don't tune out because you don't want to miss that if you haven't heard it. A brand new day, cool rootsy Americana vibe, uplifting track. This one, Matt, put a smile on my face. Just a wonderful track and another terrific vocal that you delivered.
Thank you. Thank you. This might be, one that perhaps is a little bit different inspiration wise or genre wise, I guess, from the rest of the record. Though, to me, that's what makes listening to records fun, is if
Yeah.
you get kind of taken on a musical roller coaster. So this one is certainly more leaning into that, country inspiration, which I have always loved. Country music. I remember watching reruns of Hee Haw with my dad as a kid, and
Yeah.
watching Roy Clark and Buck Owens and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
And a big fan of acoustic music like James Taylor and Jim Croce and stuff like that. So, something a little different for the folks here on this record, a little more stripped down. There's some great accordion parts by Mark Maysfield on there, and this one was a lot of fun to write and record.
I want to slide in real quickly, man. The closing track, man. You were talking about acoustic. You talk about great acoustic vibe, man. Rambling Kind, fantastic acoustic opening, man. That alone is worth the price of admission, as far as I'm concerned. Great closing track. Again, if I had to predict, this should be another timeless instant classic. Great lyric as well, and a staggering guitar solo. Man, this is fans. This is like epic Eric Clapton level. Wow, talk about inserting a mic drop. This is the place to do it. What a great closer. And I just want to ask you, Matt. We're hitting the bewitching hour. I can't believe it's already been an hour, and we could continue to keep talking about this thing. But is there anything that you can share with us for 2026 that's on the agenda? You've got a number of dates again that fans can look up on your website, right?
Absolutely, yeah. They can
Yeah.
click on that tour tab at matthewcurry.com and see all the venues that we're playing, which is right around the corner. We start the tour next week with a handful of dates in the Midwest, and then we work our way down through the Southeast and up the East Coast, and then off to Europe again in the fall.
Yep.
So it'll be a
Nice.
busy year, and we're just out touring and trying to spread the good word of one for the ride for the folks out
The
there.
Gospel of Matthew Curry. Yeah, the world needs more of that for sure. I mean, it's great musical, magical medicine for sure. And before we let you go, we'd like to thank all the fans for being here this evening. Clearly, they have massive passion. For those who are just discovering Matthew Curry, you're going to love this record and go see the man live. Special thanks to Ira Leslie for pumping us up as far as our great looks. Thank you from Rough Records, and also to Donnie Lewis, who connected us, without whom there would not have been a show this evening. And also to Brian, Sandy, Tina, Brad, Joe, Jenny, let's see, Lavani, Marty, Kate, Sam, and behind the scenes, always doing a great job, Brendan, Quinn, all from Talk Shop Live. But most importantly, to Matthew Curry for continuing to provide us his musical gifts. We're so fortunate for that. Matthew, thank you so much for being here. And I want to remind everybody, pick up the forthcoming, or I should say the current new album. It's out now. When you buy it, we'll deliver it. And that is entitled One for the Ride at the Rock and Roll Challenge Talk Shop Live. Again, personally autographed by the man himself, Matthew. And while you're at it, pick up copies for your friends and family. There's no greater gift than the gift of music. Music and art is a gift that keeps on giving. Your friends and family will thank you for it. You've worked hard. You deserve it. Pick up a copy of this. This is one you'll keep going back to. Can't thank you enough for being here, Matthew. Really enjoyed it, and love the album.
Well, Steve, thank you, and to everyone else at Talk Shop, so much for having me. This has been a real pleasure to chat with you guys, and I certainly am very grateful for you guys, taking the time to help me expose the new record to some good folks out there. And thanks to all the fans and potential new fans for tuning in. And thank you guys so much. It was a real pleasure talking to you.
Thanks. It's mutual, man. I hope this is the first of many conversations that we have, Matt.
Me too. I look forward to the next one.
Sounds good, man. Look forward to seeing you on the road.
Absolutely, man. We'll be looking forward to it as well.
Thanks so much. And with that, everyone, stay safe, enjoy life, rock on, love one another. So long, everybody. Thanks again, Matt.
Thank you, guys.
Sit tight. Listen to this last track.
Shoes can shuffle around. I've got 100 women out there. There ain't no place that I call home. The only time that I'm satisfied is when I'm on the road. I'm a whiskey, rock and roller. That's what I am. Women, whiskey, and miles of traveling. It's all I understand. Sometimes I wonder, where will we go? Lord, don't you take my